everybody, it's Erica at Flourish, and today on our Make It Monday, we're going to learn how to make an herbal oil into a salve. So last week we talked about how to make an herbal oil. This week we're going to turn it into a salve. Now why would we want to do that? One, it makes it a little bit more portable. You can take a tin with you in your backpack, keep it in your medicine cabinet, throw in your first aid kit, and then it travels a little bit more. And then a salve is also going to help emoliate our skin just a little bit. It's going to make a protective layer. It's going to hold moisture in versus just applying the oil. So what you're going to need is you're going to need a cup of that herbally infused oil. Last week we used calendula. You're also going to need a couple tablespoons of beeswax. And it's really simple, guys. We're going to melt, we're going to pour, and then we're going to label. So remember last week we started with our calendula oil. Now this could be lavender, this could be peppermint, this could be arnica, this could be a variety of things that you mix together. If you're wanting to use more than one kind of oil, I would make each one of those herbal oils and then make that into your cup. So maybe you would use a half a cup of calendula oil, a half a cup of lavender oil, right? So you're going to gather a couple of things. You're going to gather your oil, gather your beeswax. You're going to need some sort of vessel. So you can use, if you're going to keep it in one jar, you can use a jar. When you come into the store to pick up your brown bag, grab bags, you'll have 4 1-ounce tins. Now we know we're going to make 8 ounces here. If you want more tins, they're available. And then if you have any calendula left over, sometimes it's nice to sprinkle that in at the end. I'll show you, just for decoration. Doesn't serve a purpose. You're going to need a tablespoon, and you're going to want to set up a double boiler. So if you want to zoom on in here, what we did today was we set up our 3 canning jar lids set right on top a pour spout vessel, and we have already added in 3 tablespoons of beeswax, and we've gotten that nice and melting. So now all we're going to do is we're going to slowly pour in our herbal oil, and it's going to kind of coagulate a little bit. It's going to harden back up a little. We're just going to stir. We want all this to melt. You can see the temperature difference there is causing this to thicken back up again. But that's okay. Get all that oil out of there. So we're going to let that settle for just a second. So like I say, these salves are going to be really good for putting on lots of different skin issues, guys. They're great in the summertime. Keep them in that first aid kit. They're great for scrapes, great for burns, great for itchy, bug bitey, dry skin. Maybe you guys have, the reason we started with the hand salves, or the salves, is, boy, our hands have taken a beating from all the alcohol-based sanitizer we've been using. So we've been looking for a way to put that moisture and barrier back in place and kind of hold moisture in, right? So when you guys come down here, we have beeswax in 4-ounce containers, or you can buy a couple of tablespoons of it. We've got our kits put together. They're going to come with, like I say, 4 of the tins, a big ounce of calendula, or maybe you want that to be another oil, a flower. Maybe you want it to be lavender. Maybe you want it to be rose. Maybe you want to make a muscle salve with the arnica and the comfrey. The chamomile is really nice. Like I say, we could make a calendula and friends kind of oil and salve. Now that oil is really great by itself. You can massage that in and it's going to be very, very, very therapeutic. But when we add that beeswax component in, it's getting a little firmer, and it's going to stay in place. It's going to be a little less greasy, and that beeswax is going to form a solid base there that's going to lock moisture in. So we talked about the benefits of calendula last week. Calendula is one of those kind of all-purpose plants, like we think of lavender. Lavender and calendula, they're excellent for all kinds of skin issues. first aid issues, wound care, burns. And this is going to be good for chapped skin, dry skin, heels, elbows. You're going to want to not let this get any water splattered into your vessel here. It's taking a little bit longer to boil down or melt down a little bit. When you get this all melted, you can do a little trick. Maybe you're going to want to start with 2 tablespoons of beeswax, and you want to know, well, how firm is that? So what you can do is, when your products are all melted, just dip a spoon in and let this set. You can let this set in the refrigerator, you can let this set in the freezer. It'll harden up, and then you can get an idea of the consistency of your of your product. And then if you want it to be more firm, you can just add more beeswax and keep melting it down. We don't want to get it too hot. We don't want to destroy any of the therapeutic benefits that's in our plants or in our oil. Looks like we're ready to go here. Now then, you could add essential oils. A general rule is 6 drops of essential oil per ounce of carrier oil equals 1%. So if you have a cup of oil is 8 ounces, so if we multiply that by 6 drops per ounce, you could actually put 48 drops of oil in here, and that would make a 1% dilution. We try to stay under 3% for most skin issues for most people. And again, we're going to want to dry all that little bit of water off. We don't want any droplets dripping down into our containers. Like I said, you could go ahead and add essential oils at this point. We are not going to. And then we have our tins lined up. Lids off. Let this set for just a second. If you are going to add your essential oils, let this cool down for a minute or two and take some of the heat off. We don't want to flash evaporate those essential oils. We're not going to put essential oils in ours today. We're simply going to pour. All the way to the top. These are going to cool down and they're going to harden pretty quick. And the nice thing about putting these in these little tins, like I say, is they travel really well. Oops, they make really good gifts. If you're just making this for your family, for your own medicine cabinet, bathroom, whatever, you can just fill a vessel at the house, right? Some people, you're going to give this as a gift, Take a little bit of that calendula flower, drop that right across the top. Just makes nice and pretty, doesn't necessarily add any benefit. And then finally, the last thing that we want to do, we're going to let these settle, we're going to want to label these. So if you come down to the shop and pick up a kit like this, we have already gone and pre-made the labels for you. And so all you'll need to do is write your ingredients on here. Maybe you used almond oil, maybe you used olive oil, maybe you used coconut oil, your calendula, maybe you added vitamin E to act as an antioxidant, maybe, write those ingredients on there, maybe you added essential oils, and then label the top and the bottom of the tin and package it up and it's ready to go. Guys, if you have any questions on how to make a salve or drop those in our comments. You can call, text, email us. If you're interested in making other kinds of herbal oils, come on in and talk to us. We can talk to you about some of the things that we have here in stock. If you want a tutorial on how to use fresh plant material, maybe you have some things growing in your property, in your garden, and you want to go through and snip that off, we can talk about how to dry that appropriately before we put it into an oil or a salve. Otherwise, we'll see you next time. What we're going to do next time is we're going to take our calendula oil, some beeswax, and we're going to add cocoa butter and shea butter, and we're going to turn them into lotion bars. They're going to be great for your skin, great for your heels, great for your elbows, and it's going to be fantastic. So guys, we hope you're enjoying these Make It Mondays, and we'll catch you next week. Thank you. Bye-bye.